Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great. Welcome to the channel D for Developer. In my previous video, I had covered microservices. But did you know when developing a microservice application or writing the code for it, what is the framework that we use? So there must be a framework on top of which we write the code, right? Or on top of which we develop the application. So what is it? We'll cover that. It's Spring, the Spring framework. So today we'll be talking about Spring and Spring Boot. Mainly about Spring Boot because many of you would be aware Spring Boot is built on top of Spring itself. So we'll talk about Spring Boot. How did it come? Why did it come? And what was the actual need of it? Let's start. Let's understand the term Spring Boot first. Spring Boot. If we break the term itself, then we have two words. One is a spring and the other one is boot. Spring Boot is built on top of the Spring framework. Let's get to the words. Spring. It's a framework which helps us in writing huge Java applications, huge Java actual enterprise applications. And the term boot simply refers to bootstrap. If we go by the dictionary meaning of bootstrap, it simply means a loop at the back of a boot used to pull it on. So if we try to relate it, the meaning of bootstrap with a Spring Boot, well, we can figure it out. Like, suppose you have got a shoe. There is a loop at the back of the shoe that we use to pull the shoe in. So that means that particular loop makes the life easier. Similar to the Bootstrap, Spring Boot makes a developer's life easy. Spring Boot helps to bootstrap a Spring application from scratch, and that's why it has been actually named as a Spring Boot. So hope by now we are clear about the term Spring Boot. Now enough said about the general meaning of the word Spring Boot. But how can we define it technically? The definition from the Spring official website says Spring Boot makes it easy to create standalone production grade Spring based applications that you can just run. A bit more technical, I think. So let's try to understand this particular line, this particular definition. So it says Spring Boot makes it easy to create standalone production grade Spring based applications that you can just run. So if I try to explain it from a developer's perspective, it would just mean suppose you have started writing a Spring application. Now, when you're done with writing that Spring based application, Spring Boot helps you in such a way that that particular Spring application that you have written and kept in local, you can directly deploy it into production and it will just run. Sounds exciting, right? Yes, it's exciting as well as a bit easy because of this Spring Boot. So when you write your code or an Spring based application in local, that particular application can be directly deployed into production and it can be just run with the help of Spring Boot. Now we have understood the term Spring Boot, what is it, and even the general meaning of the word Spring Boot, why it has been named so. Now we'll move on. How did Spring Boot actually come? Why? What was the actual need for Spring Boot to be launched? If we talk about the Spring Framework was launched as early as 2002. Yes, but have you wondered like why it has been making so much buzz now? Yes, that is because of Spring Boot. When Spring Boot was launched on top of Spring Framework, it was so catchy and attractive from a developer's perspective that suddenly became a huge trend. When Spring Framework came, it came with a lot of features that actually made writing huge enterprise Java applications easy. But there is a problem. When working with huge Java applications, there are two things that is troublesome from a developer's view. First one is we need many external jar files. Yes. And the second being a lot of focus on configuration related stuffs. So when Spring Framework was launched and people started using it, the many developers felt like they were focusing more on the configurations. So Spring Framework actually required XML configurations to be done for the smooth running of the project or the application. So developers at some point started feeling that they're kind of wasting more and more time on configuration rather than the coding part. This initiated a thought like, can we have someone else who can manage the configurations on behalf of the developer so that a developer can have more time for coding? So Spring Framework actually dealt with XML files, XML configurations. And being a developer, we actually don't like spending too much time on doing configurations. It's just because at times it becomes monotonous and it's kind of frustrating for doing huge amount of XML configurations, managing it just for even for small works. And of course, it was time consuming as well. This is where the idea of creating something new kicked in. And just to be clear, it's not that we as developers hate doing configurations or managing XML files, but our focus and interest in general is always the coding part, basically. So whenever we are working with any enterprise Java applications, we need many external jars for the smooth running of our functionalities. Now this Spring Boot helps in getting the dependencies and configuring them for us, mainly external jars that we need for our project without much to be done from the developer's part. Now this turns out to be a great deal for a developer, making their lives easy, and hence it's being widely used and accepted as well. Is Spring Boot a framework? It's actually a question of debate and doubt among many experts. This question clicks in almost every developer's mind, and it's being asked in many interviews as well. So, if I talk about my personal opinion, and many I think, Spring Boot is not a framework actually. It's built on top of Spring Framework, no doubt, but it's not a framework. It's rather a more enhanced and simple way to use the Spring Framework. Yes. Spring Boot provides easy and better way to create any kind of Spring applications. Is Spring Boot a replacement for Spring? No, not at all. Now, many people would think so, but it's actually not true. Spring Boot is not a replacement for Spring. Spring Boot is developed on top of the Spring framework. So when we say we use a Spring Boot, it actually works on top of the underlying Spring framework. It uses all the features of a Spring framework. So it's not at all a replacement. But yes, it's more enhanced and simplified way, or actually a better way of working with the Spring applications. Okay, now let's deal with why, the question why, the main purpose of Spring Boot. So the main purpose of Spring Boot is to give us a production ready application which we can directly deploy and run without doing any explicit configurations. It will use the default configurations which we don't need to worry about at all. So Spring Boot is kind of someone who's doing the work on behalf of a developer. Yes. So its main purpose is to give us a production ready application which we can directly deploy and run. So when we are developing any Spring Boot project, Spring Boot automatically applies few default configurations to your application and makes it production ready. But does that mean that we don't have control over the configurations? No, it's not. If we want to make any changes to the default configurations, or we want to apply our own custom configurations to the application, we can always do that by using the file called application.yaml. This file actually stores all the configurations or the properties related to the project. So we can override the default configurations or the default properties by writing them in application.yaml. So we just need to specify that particular property into this YAML file, and that's it. We are done. Now Spring Boot takes the responsibility of using the externally defined property and applying them on that application. Yes. Now the question is, where do we find this application YAML file? Where should we put it in our project structure? We can always find this application.yaml file under the resources folder of our Spring Boot project. Thank you everyone. I hope this video would have benefited you in some way. For more details and more learnings, please visit my website defaultdeveloper.com. Thank you once again.